Our followers everywhere, welcome to the bulletin of Al-Azhar Islamic Research Academy. Here's the news. Within the framework of Al-Azhar's interest in highlighting the Islamic civilization, IRA has held a conference on the renaissance of Islamic civilization during the reign of Sultan Al-Zahir Papers, in cooperation with the Republic of Kazakhstan and Al-Azhar University. During this conference, the IRA Secretary General Professor Nali Ayad affirmed that history is a true mirror that preserves the past of nations. He also expressed his gratitude to Egypt, Kazakhstan, and Al-Azhar Al-Sharif under the leadership of His Eminence, the Grand Imam, for supporting this important academic event, which reflected the interest of the two friendly countries and the prestigious Al-Azhar institution in Islamic history and in all those who've had a role in building civilizations. He also extended his gratitude to Al-Azhar Undersecretary and the leaders of Al-Azhar for participating in the activities of this international conference, which combines in its sessions researchers from the Egyptian and Kazakh side. During his participation in the activities of the conference of the role of religious leaders in preserving the environment, the Secretary General said that highlighting this subject is one of the most important duties. Rather, it is a life necessity and a religious obligation, especially because Allah, exalted be He, has created man for a well-known purpose, represented in His succession on the earth, preserving it and building the universe. Allah Almighty says, "It is He who originated you from the earth and made you settle there." He added that we feel deep sadness and sorrow when we look at the reality we live, where we find imbalance of the elements of the universe and a change of the elements of the existence. What testifies to this is the state of the world map, which has recently changed as rivers have disappeared from many countries. Emphasizing the importance of joint cooperation, IRA Secretary General has met a delegation from the Ministry of Education in the Maldives and discussed scientific and educational cooperation. At the headquarters of the General Secretariat, the IRA Secretary General has received Mr. Abdullah Ismail, Head of External Relations at the Maldivian Ministry of Education, and his accompanying delegation to discuss ways of cooperation between the two sides in various fields. At the beginning of the meeting, the Secretary General welcomed the delegation, stressing that the meeting comes within the framework of the global role of Al-Azhar under the leadership of His Eminence, Al-Azhar Grand Imam, Professor Ahmed Al-Tayyib. He pointed out that the message of spreading awareness, tolerance, and peace among peoples is a global message that Al-Azhar Al-Sharif has been keen throughout its history to support and facilitate. The delegation expressed their confidence in Al-Azhar Al-Sharif's approach, and scholars indicating that the Islamic Arabic schools need to provide textbooks as well as Al-Azhar publications for students before the start of the new academic year. The members of the delegation also showed their appreciation for the important role played by Al-Azhar Al-Sharif in the whole world, pointing out that countries of the world are in dire need of Al-Azhar scholars and their approach that protects humanity from the exaggeration of fanaticism. The Secretary General has also met with a German delegation and discussed ways of cooperation in various scientific and training fields. During this meeting, the IRA Secretary General received the German delegation from the University of Osnabrück and the Academy of Training Imams in Germany, headed by Professor Paultine Ocher, Professor of Islamic Education at the University of Osnabrück and President of the Institute. They discussed ways of cooperation in various scientific and training fields. During the meeting, the Secretary General also reviewed the academic, dawah, and awareness efforts run by the Islamic Research Academy through its various committees and departments inside and outside Egypt. The Secretary General also presented a quick review to the delegation showing the role played by IRA, being one of the sectors of Al-Azhar Al-Sharif in the fields of scientific publications and community awareness via direct interaction with people at the local and international levels. He also pointed out that the activities carried by the various IRA departments and committees, as well as the awareness campaigns and dawah efforts that meet people's daily needs. Al-Azhar International Academy started the first activities for 4-week training course entitled Training in Fatwa Skills for a number of imams and preachers from 27 countries. The activities began in the presence of His Eminence Dr. Muhammad Al-Duwaini, Azhar Undersecretary, and Dr. Salama Dawood, President of Al-Azhar University, Dr. Hassan Al-Saghir, President of the Academy and Secretary General of the Council of Senior Scholars, Dr. Mahmoud Al-Hawari, Assistant Secretary General of Dawah and Religious Media at ERA. This comes at the direction of Al-Azhar Grand Imam Professor Ahmed Al-Tayyib, who stressed the necessity of preparing distinguished cadres of imams to issue fatwas in Arab and Islamic countries. Such a training imams should be able to address and eliminate the phenomenon of fatwas issued by unqualified people, confront fatwas inciting extremism, and deal with them professionally. They should establish standards and recepts for the fatwa issuance profession and how to issue fatwas. To enhance the efforts of Al-Azhar Al-Sharif to support women and combat violence, ERA Secretary General Dr. Nali Ayad participated in the activities of the first sessions organized by the Women's Support and Anti-Violence Unit as part of 11th Annual International Conference on Knowledge Economy for a Better Life held at Ain Shams University. The session discussed a number of important topics, including the role of state institutions in supporting women's rights and the role of the National Council for Women in supporting and empowering women, and the role of the United Nations in supporting projects related to combating violence and empowering Egyptian women. The session also discussed the role of the United Nations in supporting projects related to combating violence and empowering Egyptian women, the role of the Ministry of Solidarity in combating violence against women, and the role of civil organizations in supporting and empowering women. During moderating the session, the Secretary General said that Egyptian women contributed greatly to the modern Renaissance at the scientific level through her role in various scientific fields at the Egyptian universities. Especially Al-Azhar University, to which he belonged, Al-Azhar produced many successful models in scientific and practical aspects that have had a great impact on promoting the Egyptian society and building new generations. Here's where our newsletter ended for this month. You can always know all that is new by visiting the Islamic Research Academy website via www.azhar.eg/magma. Thanks for watching. See you next month.